Hello and welcome to the Other 14 FC podcast. I'm Alex, Crystal Palace fan.
And I'm Tom, a West Ham fan.
And this is your podcast for every week, not top six. Tired of your team being last in match of the day and not getting the flowers they deserve? That's about to change. Tom, what do you have for listeners this week?
Brentford are buzzing again. Leeds demolish Nottingham Forest and wins for both of our teams this week, so it might just be the happiest episode of the pod if Alex is over his hangover.
Yeah, just about, in all honesty. It was a pretty bad one yesterday. I wasn't expecting it to be as bad as that because I've been quite good with the booze in January, but yeah, came back with vengeance yesterday.
Well, it was a rivalry win for you this weekend that deserves celebrating, so I can understand.
Yeah, I'll take that. Cool. Anyway, should we get into it? I think we're going to do a bit of a bite-sized pod this week with games starting literally again tonight. I know you're in a rush to get to the London Stadium for kick-off as well, so...
Yeah, I've got a hard out, but I've got a very quick rant to do. Over the weekend, I was really pissed off with seeing all of these media outlets and that showing the relegation race of like 6 teams. And despite Palace being before their game against Brighton, being on the same points as Spurs, conveniently leaving Tottenham off this list of race for relegation, it was really, really obvious what they were doing, and just goes to show why we do this podcast.
It's mental, isn't it? I was thinking exactly the same with a load of Spurs stuff going on. It's just like, come on now, why is this not being talked about? But also, I think they do it so it can be a bit of a, oh, what a shock, it's down there. Look how bad it is on Thomas Frank. He needs to get sacked now. Do you know what I mean? So
but that's what they should. They should be doing it.
No,
like, I'm surprised that they're not to get more interest.
No.
But they're so disingenuous to just be like, oh, we'll just leave Spurs off, even though they're in the same situation that Palace and Leeds are.
No, I think they leave it so it can be more of a shock for like a general viewer to be like, oh, Spurs are down there this close to the end of the season, but maybe I'm wrong.
Rage bait. Maybe it's rage bait. Maybe they've got me. But I just think it's big media going for the big six team, just protecting the big six.
Usual media bollocks. I mean, either way, it's bad, isn't it? We're both arguing for media being a load of piss takers. But yeah, cool. Let's take a break and then get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, and we're back. So Tom, where do you want to start?
I think we've got to start with Brentford again, man. They absolutely went away to St James's Park and in a very, very different game to that one at Villa Park last week. Complete contrast. Brentford looked in a lot of control at times in this game. They had a lot of attacking efforts. They fully deserved the win. I think it was a really good game, really back and forth. Both teams attacked well. And yeah, Brentford get the win 3-2 in the end.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's like the cliche, great advert for the Premier League, but I think this game was generally that for once, and it was a lot of back and forward from it. But like you say, Brentford were pretty strong throughout as well. There are a few things to point out. The pen for Lewis on Lewis Potter to begin with. What did you think of that? Well, not given, sorry, the pen shout.
Yeah, it wasn't given. I think it's soft, but I think it's a clear foul anywhere else on the pitch, and I think you have to give that. Like, I think it's a penalty all day.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where if it gets given, cliches once again, cliches all over the place, cliche all over your face.
This is not the football cliches pod,
No,
mate.
it feels like it doesn't. But yeah, I think if it got given, there was no way it was being overturned.
Yeah, and then Newcastle go down the other end pretty much against the runner play, I think, and Botman gets one in off like the back of his head.
Yeah.
Kind of just gets enough on it to nudge it in.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a bit too easy or just an insane delivery from Bruno. It feels like it was just a great delivery.
Yeah, I think it's one of those corners that we see week in, week out now, where it's just put on top of so many bodies in that 6-yard box that as long as it just comes off something, and it's just, some of them are really hard for the goalkeeper to come out to because there's just too many bodies, and it's really hard to defend because you can't get a clear jump on it with so many people in and around you, and all you have to do as an attacker in that phase is just to get something to guide it towards goal, because I don't think that's what Botman intended. It's just get something, like flick an ear at it, and it might come off and just get the nick it needs to go in the back of the net, which this one did.
Yeah, exactly that. And then it turned into I think we've called it the Dango show after that. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, Dango Outarra has stepped up massively. I think there was a lot of talk in this one about, because obviously the person who he kind of replaced, or maybe you class him as the Mbomo replacement, but Visser's on the other end of the pitch, the person that they didn't want to sell out of the two because they tried to keep him all summer. eventually he sort of forced their hand a bit with not training and stuff, and they brought in Outarra as a replacement for either him or Mbeumo, however you look at it. And Outarra was the better player in this match completely.
100% sets up the first goal for Brentford with a lovely cross that puts on basically Yano's head at the back post, and it couldn't be much easier than it, could it? I mean, it's just a lovely ball, you just got to put it away.
Yeah, really, really great cross. There's a couple of really nice crosses from this weekend, and just a really nice header from Vitaly Janelt to back across goal, who's definitely an unsung hero. I think Brentford fans absolutely love Janelt, but I think he probably doesn't get much credit outside of Brentford.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with that. It goes under the radar for me completely. I mean, it hasn't really helped with Brentford having a few bad performances against us in recent memory, so he hasn't really stood out when I see him play live. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to change in the future for me. Then we go into the Brentford Murphy handball, which, I mean, similar to JD Canvo one from a couple of weeks ago with Palace. I mean, it's probably a pen in this day. I think the rule is it is a pen in this day and age now, and it's not a red card because it. I don't know. I don't know why it's not a red card. Maybe
It's accidental.
accidental.
Don't you remember the phrase that pissed
Yeah,
you off so much that weekend?
I've tried to
I
figure it
do
out.
think this one is a little bit more clear. Like his arm is a little bit further out than Canvo's was. I think Canvo's was really harsh because it was right next to his body, whereas I think Murphy's arm is just slightly further away. I do think it's still harsh. I do think it's not a handball in the sort of like the nature of the laws.
Yeah,
But as you say, in this day and age, they give those. That is technically what handball is nowadays, and I do think this one was a little bit more clear than that previous one.
yeah. I don't think it's an unnatural position. That's the thing that I'm really think
No,
sit with it, like, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, Thiago puts the pen away, just keeps his score and run, and gets Brentford to 2-1 just before half time. Then we go into second half, get a pen for Bruno. What do you think about this one?
I think this is a clear penalty, but I think it's completely accidental. Like
Yeah,
I don't think Michael Keown is even aware that Guimaraes is there. I think he's just busting a lung to get back into position, and it's just Guimaraes has almost cut across him. So it's like it's just been an accidental clipping of the heels, but I do think that is a penalty because I think Guimaraes gets onto that ball or at least gets super close to it. So I think it's so like he would have probably got a shot away, or at least
well,
they got
that's
something to guide it into goal. So that's
this.
why I think it's a penalty.
But then is it a dogma to go on and goal scoring?
No, because I don't think it's on purpose. Like I don't think there's anything cynical part of it. Like I think it is just an accidental collision. So
Yeah,
I don't think that is a like. I think there with Dogso, you've got a like element of cynicism.
yeah.
That is a deliberate attempt to deny a goal scoring opportunity.
That's fair. I mean, I could probably agree with that on that. And then yeah, Bruno gets some more goals this season. Just yeah, really, really doing the carry lifting for that Newcastle team, especially with the goals drying up for Votamada now.
Yeah. Guimaraes has had to step up this season. He's done excellently. Just steps up and slots that penalty home. Looks very comfortable doing so. And I think it felt like Newcastle were the more likely to go on and get the winner from that point. At least maybe that's just the atmosphere talking. You get a 2-2, a few minutes to go, but then Brentford just go up the other end and silence them.
Yeah, mate, it's literally that 12 minutes left in the game. Felt like all to play for. Anyone could have it, and then Outarra just puts one through Nick Pope, which I mean, you don't see often, do you? Well, I feel like I've never seen it happen when we play against him. He's a fucking brick wall.
Yeah, it's a powerful effort, but you're probably asking your goalkeeper to save that from how far out Outarra was. Like, yes, he's in the box, but he's not like right up and close. Like he's got a few yards on Nick Pope that would have hoped that Nick Pope would have been able to save that if I was a Newcastle fan.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I mean, that's just a big gut punch for Eddie Howe, who's having a bit of trouble in the media at the moment. I think what's his quotes after the game, like, I wouldn't still be here if I wasn't the right man for the job.
Yeah, he said he would. I think he said that he would leave if he felt that he wasn't the right man for the job, which you quite often hear from managers, and it's usually a sign that they're on the way out. Like it's never really a good thing that you want to hear. I can't think of the top of my head that many managers have come back from that kind of situation. Like, remember the stuff we were talking about at the start of the season with Vitor Pereira at Wolves, and you were
Yeah,
like, yeah, I want my manager to be like backing himself and like coming out fighting. And I was like, these are all like telltale signs of a person who's not long for this job. And I think if Newcastle finish mid-table this season, that I just don't think there's going to be enough. I think the owners are going to get twitchy. I think the fans have already started getting twitchy, and they'll be looking for someone to take them up into that upper echelon of consistency, really.
yeah, exactly that. I mean, I'm hoping they they get rid of him and pay us some money for Glasner before the end of the season. Get whatever money we can.
Would you take Howe?
Oh God, no! I hate him. He's a rat man.
Oh,
Absolute rat, horrible bastard. Whenever his not awful, whenever his Bournemouth teams came to sell us, they would always be like nipping at players' heels, like the rotational fouling, and teams done the same against us at times we've come up against him, and I just generally don't like him. So
fair enough. Fair enough. But just to tip the cap to Brentford, first win away to Newcastle since 1934, and last week was their first ever away win at Villa Park. The Bees are absolutely buzzing this season.
Mate, if they start winning away and matching up with the home form, they're going to win the league.
They've won their last two games away. Like, they've just completely spat in the face of that home away record that we pinpointed a couple of weeks ago.
Absolute crazy stuff. But yeah, cool. Okay, let's leave that there. We won't look too much into like the table stuff with teams like that at the moment, because it's all going to change in the next couple of days anyway. Like,
Yeah.
everything we say as soon as it get uploaded is probably going to mean shit all. But yeah, cool. Let's move on to West Ham Burnley. How happy are you at the end of the week? The end of the weekend, sorry.
Buzzing. Like, yeah, it's still not. I'm still not comfortable because we're still in the relegation zone. Like, we still need points for. We still need Forest to drop points, etc. But this was an absolute must-win game for us. After the couple of good results, after the drop against Chelsea, it was really important that we bounce back against someone, and I do think that kind of closes the door on Burnley now.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think I've tried to give Burnley the benefit of the doubt for quite large periods of the season, but these last few weeks have kind of been a coffin nail, haven't they? I think after they got a few points against Big Six teams, and you're like, okay, maybe there's something there. Maybe if they get the defensive stuff right against teams in and around them, they could nick a win here and there. But I think it's too late now, and you kind of took the game away from them in 30 minutes. And is it really harsh to say that after Tati scores, it's game over?
It felt like that, except for about 10 to 15 minutes after half time, where Burnley came out and West Ham kind of sat deep a little, and Burnley were having some chances. But the fact that they didn't score in there's an absolutely massive block from Aaron Wan-Bissaka on Marcus Edwards at one point. That is absolutely key. They didn't score in that 10 to 15 minute spell, and then after that, the game just kind of petered out for the last 30 minutes. From a West Ham perspective, the result was bigger than the performance. Not that the result was bad. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't one of those like, oh, terrible result, you got a 1-0 win or whatever.
Yeah, but
it
what
was
I
just
saw in that performance, like even just from the highlights, is not something I've seen you do in games that I've watched fully or from other highlights. It was like proper on the line defending. That one, like that Wan-Bissaka one I was going to bring up, you have Big Mav like on the floor, like trying to sort it out. Like, even though he kind of ends up miscontrolling it in that scenario, and he does get to Edwards for the strike, I think it is. It's just they're like, yeah, this actually looks like a team that's defending for their lives now, rather than a bunch of blokes just on a football pitch, yeah, trying to fucking kick a ball around for hope.
Oh yeah, 100%. We've been so open this season and defensively all over the place. I think a couple of those defensive performances, Disasi was absolutely solid on debut, really sort of like kind of unspectacular, but just raised the floor that we've seen. Like, I think if Kilman was playing, we probably would have conceded in this game, especially during that spell of pressure that Burnley gave us after half-time. Hermansen came in for this one. He still doesn't inspire me with a lot of confidence, but I hope this gives him the confidence. He does have our only 2 clean sheets of the season, which
That's mad, isn't it?
is poor, given he hasn't played since September or whatever. We didn't keep a clean sheet in that time, and then he's come in and kept one on his return to action. It was a very head scratching. I think Arriola had a slight knock, even though he was on the bench. But
Yeah, I was going to ask
Hermansen
why.
came in and did enough. Yeah, I think it was just a knock, but we'll see if he sticks with him.
Yeah, and that's kind of it. I mean, Somerville 5-5. He's been absolutely the one to save you in this spurt. Well, not save you. He's the one to give you some realistic hope now. In that,
I mean, he's the headline grabber is Somerville. This is the player that I was promised from all of those TikTok edits of his Leeds days and that, whereas they firing in goals, cutting in, using his pace, using his trickery. This is the player that I was promised. He's the first player to score 5 in 5 games since Jesse Lingard's infamous loan at West Ham.
oh God, yeah, Jesse Lingard at West Ham.
What a time! What a COVID time that was. But other than Somerville, the real MVP, MILF, man, I love Fernandes. Like Mateus Fernandes is just the dog's bollocks. Like the way he's tenacious in the tackle. He can ping any pass. He can carry the ball like he did for the assist for Somerville's goal. He's just everywhere on the pitch, and he's been in great form in this run of 5 games. After he had maybe a couple of down games in early January.
Well, I was going to say, because he seemed when he first got him, he came out of blocks and it was like, there's a player there. Then he got injured, didn't he? Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't think he got injured, but I think he just.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he's in and out of the team for his first couple of months, really.
Yeah.
And then he has been in the team, but he got a bit quiet over the Christmas period. He had a stinker against Wolves, but then he's really, really bounced back from that.
Yeah, he does look good. He looks like a player, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, Forest might have got you worried on. No, sorry, not Forest. I'm definitely not. Leeds might have got you worried on Friday night, but you came back in the best way possible, didn't you? I mean, we can say what does that mean for Burnley at the moment, but I think we kind of summed that up already at the beginning talking about the game. But
yeah, I think there's just another absolute like perler of a cross, like the Outarra one from Diouf for the second goal. It was a really nice, well worked move as well, quite direct, but really like succinct passing. Strong header from Tati. It's just really nice to have a goal scorer score goals. Like 2 in 6 games puts him up there with the better ones over the last 15 years for West Ham. I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, he's probably like the last 15 years. He's probably like 5th in our like striker scoring charts already.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it? I was gonna say that because obviously Juve gets the cross in, and that's probably why it's noticeable. But having him back from AFCON, do you think that's made a difference? Maybe giving him some more confidence with. He's Senegalese, isn't he, with them winning?
Yeah, he won the tournament with Senegal, so I definitely think that gave him a boost to come back. Ollie Scholes did a good enough job when he was away. He had a couple of tough games, he had a couple of good games, but there's a clear difference with Malik Diouf playing, and this is the sort of thing you get. He's got 4 assists as a defender this season, which is joint most for defenders in the league, and with that kind of perler of a cross that he has, that's something that we need to keep using, keep exploiting. So yeah, just lastly on West Ham, like since we signed this assistant coach Paco Jimenez, who was an old ex teammate of Nuno's from way back when, we've averaged over 2 goals a game in those matches, where we looked for the first 3 months of Nuno's tenure, we were desperately trying to be really defensive, weren't very good at that, but also really struggling to score goals at times. Whereas now we're scoring goals. Defending could still be better, but at least we kept a clean sheet in this match, and hopefully can take that moving forward with Disasi back as well.
Yeah, it's just everything you needed to do in the game, and you got it done, like you say. The performance didn't matter, was the result, and yeah, it's giving you hope. I think after the Forest game, Rob Green was on Sky Sports, wasn't he? He's like, West Ham are done. They need to basically win 3 games in a row now, something they haven't done in 10 years. And yeah, you basically went and pretty much did it. We won 3 and 4. And yeah, it's looking a bit rosier. You've had other teams drop off as well. So yeah, I guess we should probably move on to a game now involves the 2 teams above you. Leeds 3, Forest 1. And yeah, I mean, I watched this game in full. Leeds just looked so much better than Forest. They looked like they wanted it more. And I think I messaged you during the game, we're fucked, because obviously Leeds getting away from you, and us making Forest look like Brazil at times the last Sunday. So I was just a bit like, oh my god, we must be dreadful. But yeah, what did you make of this game?
Well, I was before the game. I was really unsure about what I wanted because it was like, okay, a draw means neither of them get away from us essentially, and kind of brings in two teams who could possibly switch with us. But then the way that Leeds performed, they just put Forest to the absolute sword. Watching the highlights back, I was like, they showed like it looks like Forest had a bit better of it than they did. Whereas when I was watching it in real time on Friday night, it was like, apart from a couple of early half chances for Forest, Leeds looked in complete cruise control. Ampadu and Gruev absolutely bossed the midfield battle.
Mm.
Aronson was tackling and pressing all over the pitch. His kit was brown, not white by half time. It was just like it was so muddy at Ellen Road, but they were just getting about there. A good back three, back five formation needs quality fullbacks, and Bogle and Justin and Goodmanson, all three of them, because I know Bogle and Justin, sometimes Justin plays the right wing back.
Mm.
They're all decent enough on their day. Like, they might not be top level wing backs, but they are decent enough on their day, and they're definitely of this quality of the league. So they can get Leeds ticking, and Forest just had no answers for about 60 minutes there.
Well, that was it. I was going to say, for a good 30 to 40-minute period, everything for Leeds just seemed to be clicking, and it blew Forest away in that time. It felt like the Forest team was very different to the one I saw the weekend before, and I'm not sure if it was maybe just my vantage point at the City Ground was just made me think that, but it just seemed like all the players that should be ticking for Forest just weren't ticking on that day, and everything was for Leeds. And yeah, first goal, Forest being undone by a ball over the top pretty much. And as soon as it goes in, I'm like, that's 100% offside. Like, there's no way Bogle's onside there. And he's like 3 yards onside.
Yeah. I think Ola Aina has to go with him. I think it's really bad defending to just think, oh, I'll just leave him and hope that he's kind of offside. I think once he started making that run, he needs to go with Bogle, but take nothing away from the pass from Gruev, which was like a quarterback who had the Super Bowl this weekend, and that was probably the best pass of the weekend. And the run from Bogle coming in from the right hand side all the way across, and then taking it past the goalkeeper. I know you think that the keeper could have done better with that. Kind of hesitated.
I think he maybe could have done better with that, but there was a lot with Ortega I saw in the game. I was like, oh, if he was my keeper at the moment, he wouldn't be making me feel comfortable in the back four, back five. And it kind of summed it up with that thing there where he just kind of comes out and it's under his leg, isn't it? It just goes through him a bit. And so, like, do I expect more? Did he have to commit to it? And then the second one, he has a good save, but he kind of parries it straight into the middle of the box, which maybe I'm being really harsh with that one, but there were just times where I thought he could have come for the ball a bit better. He could have done things where he just could have been a bit more commanding, and maybe it's just rustiness being a second choice keeper for a top six side.
Yeah, I mean, I text you, it strikes of a player who's going to sign for VfL Bochum in Germany in the summer. It feels like Forest are in that situation where I'm sure Palace have been. I know West Ham have been at times where you're just searching for a goalkeeper. Sells has had a down season. John Victor had that howler against Villa where he pulled up injured. They signed Ortega now for like 500k. Just feels like to get us to the end of the season, give us an option kind of thing. It does just feel like they're just trying to find an answer, and when you're in that situation, it can be quite bad. Like, no one really has the confidence. I mean, West Ham are halfway in that situation this year with Hermanson and Areola not really knowing who your number one is. You compare that to like Palace's situation where it's like it's Dean Henderson or nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. War Benitez ain't too bad, but yeah, he's definitely not going to be our starting one at the moment. But yeah, and then second one, like I think I mentioned already, it's a big save from Ortega, but he does just parry it straight into Ukfor in the middle of the box. It's like you kind of want to be putting the ball anywhere else but where it ends up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Forest got caught out, all of them, in this one. Like 2 goals in 3 minutes. I think they got caught like their heads down, maybe napping after conceding.
I mean, it's heads down, but
I think
also Ellen Road. If once they got that goal, there were limbs, and you could, we feel it as fans. I'm sure you feel it when you're at a place. You're like, oh my god, I feel suffocated as a fan, and it's like our team's just gonna like concede no matter what. I can't imagine what it's like actually being a player in that situation, and that it is kind of smacks of that, doesn't it? Like they got the first one, Leeds under the lights in the rain. Just Forest were like, shit, what's gonna happen? And it wasn't complete capitulation, but it was just everything going right for Leeds and them kind of carving through Forest at times in that 30 to 40 minute period just before and just after half time.
Yeah, I think with that second one, I have to just give a lot of credit to James Justin and Jaden Bogle in the build-up, because it was really nice, that one-touch passing. I think they were feeding off the energy of the crowd 100%. And then all credit to Leeds, they came out firing after half-time, which they could have very easily just been like, all right, we're 2-0 up, we can try and possess this game out.
See, if this was West Ham, what would Nuno be doing straight after half-time? He'd be
sitting deep. It'd be like part of the bus. Let's try and control this game from the edge of our box. Whereas Leeds were like, no, we get a third and we absolutely kill Forest off here. Like, there's just if we get a third, there's no chance of them coming back.
No, there was. And the goal itself, Dominic Calvert-Lewin with a chest into the back of the net, which is pretty class. It's another one where I don't know if there's anything Ortega could do about it, but it's just an odd-looking goal that makes me think, is his positioning right? Like, should he be diving when he has a player of Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
I think that's harsh. I think that's harsh because, I think Gruev's shot is going in.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost, you need to blame the defending, because I think the defender needs to be able to like block off Calvert-Lewin in a natural way, not like in a foul. But he needs to get his body ahead of Calvert-Lewin's, and for him to get so easily beaten, so that Calvert-Lewin can adjust his body as well to get his chest on it. Like that shows that he had time and space to do so and to think that way. So the defending wasn't good enough for me.
Yeah, I think I'm being harsh. I think I'm just tallying what I saw from like Ortega in the first 60 minutes. I'm just thinking, oh, is something wrong? But yeah, I mean, it is definitely game over after that, and it could have been a bloodbath, really. I mean, maybe give Forest a bit of credit that they basically do find a consolation in the end, even though it is from a 6'7" geezer scoring a header.
Do you mean Pizza Crouch?
Pizza Crouch, jeez.
That's what they've started calling him. I like it. Lorenzo Luca, debut goal for the big Italian. I feel like it's a Sean Dyche wet dream.
Really is. If you want to be in a relegation battle and you're Sean Dyche, that's the play you buy, isn't it?
Ooh, 6'7" Italian. Yeah, I'll have some of that.
Balls into him constantly. Everything to that man. Put it on his head. But
yeah, I mean, it was a nice consolation. They maybe made the last couple of minutes spicy, but it was too much for them to come back from. A couple of players who I thought really struggled in this one for Forest. Dominguez had an absolute stinker.
The fake some shady, you mean?
fake some shady, yeah. He has played right wing before, like right midfield. So I don't think that, yes, it's not his preferred position. He does generally play centrally for Forest, but I don't think that's an excuse, because he has played there for how poor he was in this game. And I think he really put Abbott, who was starting at right back, under a lot of pressure, and Abbott just couldn't cope with Goodmanson and Okafor, and he had no help from Dominguez.
Yeah, it felt like that. Like, I caught that out to you during the game as well. It was like, I don't remember their right-hand side being so inept as when we played them, and I don't really know what the big difference was with it. If it was just the pressure of the game got to them, if it's personnel, it just all seems a bit of a mess really for Forest in this game, and in a game they probably couldn't afford to. Yeah, they couldn't afford to screw up. How many changes did we have? So they changed both fullbacks, and they took Hudson-Odoi off on the right-hand side and put Dominguez on the left. Is that right? I'm trying to work it out. But yeah, they just changed the wingers round and changed both fullbacks. But it seemed to make a massive difference in this game. Is that down to Leeds, do you reckon, or was it?
I think so. I think we know how good Leeds have been under the lights at home, and I think Palace in that week were maybe coming off the back of definitely were coming off the back of a really bad spell. I think getting a point was kind of the best that they could have got away from home then. So I think this was more of a I think Forest fans would be hoping that this was more of a Leeds good situation than a Forest bad situation, but it was a bit of both. Forest have got Wolves in midweek. That's a great chance for them to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge game for them, and it is stopping the slip. I feel Dyche is coming under a bit of pressure already. I don't know if that's from the fans. I think the media wants to put pressure on him because of where Forest are in the results. I think it'd be very harsh to even consider him getting sacked or anything like that, because I think he's put them in a better position than they were looking like they were going to end up under Nuno for those periods. So, yeah.
Do you mean under Ange, when they would have been relegated by Christmas if they'd have kept going?
Oh my God, I forgot about Ange. How crazy is that? I genuinely forgot about Ange.
It's been a long season.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I guess last talking point now is just how you feeling with Forest probably being your closest competitors now.
Yeah, well, after your win this weekend, it has sort of honed in on Forest and Tottenham Hotspur being the two teams that I'm targeting for a relegation scrap. I sound like a broken record. West Ham just need to worry about themselves.
Yeah.
In this situation, we can only control what we can control, win as many games in front of us as possible, and hope that others drop points. It's not time enough. If Forest, if we at some point we get ahead of Forest, which, like, knock on wood, I hope we do, then I can start looking at their results and seeing where they're going to pick points. But at this moment in time, West Ham, take control of your own destiny.
Yeah, I feel like if you catch someone, like if you get above them, I think that could be that team done. If you got above a Forest, a Spurs, or a Brighton, say, I think it's those teams.
Are you wishing Brighton into this?
Yeah, I'm not wishing them in there. They're in there. They are. It's not my fault.
I mean, I'm not looking at anyone over 30 points right now.
Yeah,
is what I would say.
Look at Brighton's form. You never know. I mean, that's a good segue.
True.
Guess into.
That's a good segue. Yeah.
Yeah, into the game on Sunday. Brighton 0, Palace 1. Yeah, another great trip for me to the Amex. Finally, I think I balanced out with my games there now. I had two horrendous defeats there, a couple of draws, and now 2 wins. So I'm
glad you had a good time, because this was a boring game.
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was, for large periods, it was an awful game. But for us Palace fans, we saw everything we wanted from our new number 9. Strand Larsen is already a club hero for me. That kid has the personality of Mateta, and I was not expecting that. I was expecting him to be able to hold the ball up, play the ball well, but I wasn't expecting him to be a proper cheeky chap as well. I think one of the first things he does, he chases down the keeper, leaves a little bit on a defender, and then you just see him pump to the Palace fans in the away end, giving them a laugh and a chant, and I think everyone then was just on board with him straight away. And yeah, I mean, it was not a good game to begin with. The first half, nothing really happened. We're hoping to see a goal on our end. Dunk has a missed header, but I wouldn't even say much of harsh chances. It looks like it's moving towards a 0-0. I took my best mate who lives down in Brighton, and he was like, yeah, this is a 0-0 game written all over it. But then we bring on the other signing, Gassan, and he does something he couldn't do for Villa in the Prem, I think, or he matches his assist for Villa in the Prem with a lovely pass through to Sarr, and Sarr causes Brighton nightmares once again on the south coast. But after we get that, I mean, Brighton did not look like they were going to get the equaliser, which is something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I'll come on to Brighton. I think from a Palace perspective, Ismaila Sarr is going to be absolutely huge. I think with all the changes in attack around him, Strand Larsen, Gasson, Pino, Brennan Johnson, etc., his consistency, which he has shown in his time at Palace, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he's been really consistently good over the past couple of years.
Mate, it's impossible to realise how consistent he's been. Like the FA Cup games last year, where he's tearing Villa apart. He's always a threat in. But the only thing I've spoken about is if a team realises you nullify him, you kind of nullify most of our attack. Because
that's the thing. that's the thing. He's going to be absolutely huge while all these changes and all these new players settle in around him. Like, I think Palace fans were very happy with Strand Larsen, with Gesson coming on and their play. But Sarr was the absolute key in this game. You felt like if someone was going to break the deadlock, it was going to be Sarr, and it was. Gesson finds him in acres of space, and as soon as he picks up that ball, there's absolutely no chance that the result of it. He's got too much space. He's too good. He's too consistent. He was the biggest threat all day, and yeah, it was. If there was going to be a player to break the deadlock, it was him. From a Brighton perspective, this was worrying for me. I know you'll delight in it, but this really felt like Brighton have regressed back to the worst of Graham Potter times.
Yeah.
Like, I know they had some good times under Graham Potter, but they were also a team that didn't score enough. They were safe from relegation, but not frequently breaking into the top half European spots. They always looked like they were kind of searching for an identity. Like, they were really possession based, but not really breaking the lines and not really getting as many goals as you would expect. And that's kind of what I see from Hertzler's Brighton team as well, where De Zerbi came in and was so, you could tell exactly what Brighton wanted to do. He had such a tactical imprint on that team. He had such a personality that was flowing through that team. Hertzler, and this is the risk when you hire a 31, 32-year-old manager who had just got St. Pauli from the Bundesliga 2 to the top division and then went straight off to Brighton. Maybe he didn't have the time to mature in management, try more things before being put into the Premier League limelight, where it can be quite. It feels like he's kind of suffocating a little bit to try and find answers, and there was a chance of you getting sacked in the morning. I'm sure they weren't just by the Palace fans, because the stadium was half empty by about 80, 85 minutes.
No, that's it. I put a picture up on my Instagram of me with my tattoo out, and the stadium's completely empty. And most of my mates replied with, "That could have been taken like in the 82nd minute." I mean, to start, it's one of those things where yes, it's a rivalry, but it only felt like a rivalry in one stand in that whole stadium. And now it's just the Palace end. Like, half the stadium, there was loads of empty seats everywhere. There was no like banter between fans, between stands, or anything like that. It all felt a bit sad, really, for Brighton, and that's not really me trying to rub salt in any more than I already am. Like the way I've spoken about it, it didn't feel like their team were up for it. It didn't feel like their fans cared about it, and it could be like sleepwalking towards not relegation, but walking towards a mid-table finish and probably sacking their manager.
Yeah, might need. I mean, I don't. As I say, I think they've probably still got enough points, and they probably pick up enough points. Like they're not in the worst run of form. Like they've picked up 3 draws in their last 5. Like, they'll probably still pick up enough points going forward. But I do think there's a lot of resignation from fans already this season, that their season is kind of done, and that the best that they'll finish is probably 12th, and the worst that they'll finish might be 17th.
But even if that is the case, is this not the game that you like get up for still? Like, if you have nothing to play for in a season, and you got your biggest rivals coming, would you not? That be the game? Like, yeah, at least we get pride out of that. As Palace fans, like, when you know you're going to finish 12th every season, you'd look to these games as a fan to be like, okay, this is what our season depends is judged on now. Winning these 2 games against Brighton.
I suppose you would have a good insight of that with your knowledge of the Brighton rivalry, and I would maybe question them as the Brighton fan base, and whether they are as vociferous as that. And also, I would question the starting lineup that Hertzler put out there, and I think the Brighton fans were more like I don't think a lot of them expected when they saw that lineup that they were going to beat Palace.
Yeah, not starting Welbeck against us was mad.
Not starting Welbeck, playing young Hal Costellas, Rutter, Boscagli had a rough game. They took off Baleba in the second half when he was their best player in the second half, and that was roundly booed by Brighton fans. It just doesn't feel like Herzl is making any of the right choices. And as a West Ham fan, I know this when you go to games and you see the lineup and you're like, what the fuck? Like, that has already put me in a bad mood.
Yeah, I've been there.
Still support the team, but a lot of fans don't will take that more to heart and go and be like, well, show me something. And Brighton didn't show them anything to get the fans on their side in this game. They might have had loads of possession, and no chance did they really feel like they were consistently threatening Dean Henderson.
No, 100% not. It was kind of weird. It might have been because I was having 6% cider before the game, but even like getting to the game, the policing didn't seem as harsh as usual. It didn't seem as busy as usual. It all just seemed like, wow, this is real comfortable atmosphere I'm walking into. I'm not like feeling, what's the word? I'm not feeling threatened by anything, and I usually feel threatened by everything going to this game because there's police everywhere and they're like trying to make you feel as bad as possible. But with that, I didn't feel it in the stands. Maybe I felt it the first 10 minutes, but after that, I was like, okay, I don't think Brighton had much here. And I was like, but we seem to have a bit going on up at top for once. And yeah, I mean, it felt like a very comfortable 1-0 win. It's changed the mood around every Palace fan and the club in general. It shut the media up pretty quickly about us being relegated. I think it kind of shows it, doesn't it? It's like one win, it's like, maybe Palace aren't going to get relegated compared to everything's on fire. Palace getting relegated, they just wasted 48 million on a striker. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, I was saying the same things, but more sort of hoping for another team to be down there with us. But I do agree. I think it has, one win has changed a lot at Selhurst.
Yeah, it's one win, and then you look at the attacking options we have, you're like, oh my god, everyone apart from Brendan Johnson's pretty decent. Really harsh, I shouldn't be calling him out already. I should give him time, but...
You also shouldn't be calling him Brendan.
Oh yeah, Brendan. Nah, he can have his name back when he does something. Cool, okay, that's enough for that. Should we move on to Fulham Everton?
Yeah, the own goal game.
The own goal game. Yeah, I mean... It felt like kind of a decent game, to be fair, though, as well. Like, I wasn't seeing Everton coming away with anything, especially after going 1-0 down, but they showed they got a bit of ball this season, and it...
I mean, they left it late.
But it didn't feel like a moist performance. Is that being really mean?
Well, I think it was a really, really even game. I think you couldn't have found two more well-matched teams in the league this year. I think it probably should have been a draw, to be honest.
What was it?
Leno had a howler.
Same points and same goal difference going into the game. So, yeah, statistically, they were exactly the same team going into this.
Exactly. And it was like they both sort of had a similar number of chances. It was sort of like going back and forth, like quite steady. It would be like a couple of chances for Fulham, a couple of chances for Everton, etc., back and forth. I mean, the Fulham go ahead, it's a decent move, but they're very, very lucky that they got a double doink that comes off Mikalenko and goes in. Yeah,
they do get lucky with that one. But then, I mean, if you're Fulham in the first half, you're wondering, how is it not 2-0? I think I wrote them all down. You have Smith Rowe hits the bar, Jimenez puts one wide that he should really be scoring, Smith Rowe puts one straight at Jordan Pickford after a 1-1, Crazy hits the bar as well. Like, you'd be raging a bit if you're Fulham, aren't you, that you didn't get the second goal, and you probably kill the game after that, don't you? But
yeah, they were on top for a point, and Chukwueze, Sessegnon, Iwobi, and Smith Rowe in that left channel were combining really nicely and creating chances. And yes, they absolutely should have found a second. There was that one that Raul shot wide. He should absolutely pass it to Wilson.
100%.
He's so open, and he drags his shot wide. But it's like, it's not like you're passing to, I don't know, Tete or someone who, like the right back. It's Harry Wilson. He's been on fire this season. Lay it off to him and he'll bang it. Like, I'm sure that's probably going in.
Yeah, but if you're Jimenez and you're a Fulham striker...
I know, strikers are selfish.
He's not passing, has he? But then they get to half-time and kind of turns into a game of two halves. Another cliche in there for everyone. Dewsbury makes it 1-1 with a nice cutback. I mean, we said it a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week, said him finding some form is crucial now that they've lost Grealish for the season. So if he can fill in that spot, like, they're going to be laughing. But
Yeah, I mean, it was a great move by Mikalenko to set up Dewsbury Hall, like the twist and turn that Mikalenko did to make up for the ball coming off his back for the own goal was really nice.
yeah, exactly, making up for that, even though there's nothing he could do about the own goal, let's be honest. But yeah, and then the winner comes for Everton from a corner, which I thought at first glance was a Jake O'Brien like header off the keeper, and I was like, wow, the keeper has to do better there than just like being really weak and the ball just dropping onto Jake O'Brien's head. And looking closer, Leno punches it into his own net round Jacob O'Brien.
Yeah,
So
he one-upped Cole Darlow from a couple of weeks ago.
it's bad. It's weak keeping that, isn't it? Or what's amazing is why is no Fulham player trying to help the keeper out there as well? Because it is just the two of them stood on the line. You're like, maybe put another defender there to push Jake O'Brien away from the keeper.
Oh yeah, 100%. You usually see a defender pushing the attacker. It's just O'Brien up against Leno, and it's also it's the modern day goalkeeper where they punch the ball first. Because if he puts two hands on that and then it O'Brien nudges it out of his hands,
He gets a foul.
It gets a foul.
Yeah.
But I know that's more risky because punching it. Well, I say more risky. The risk didn't pay off in this because he punched into his own net. I know goalkeepers feel it's more risky to, in slippery conditions and that, try and hold on to the ball when it's fizzed in. These balls are so light and stuff that they can a little swerve in the air and they can do you. But I do think there's a general consensus of you feel a bit unnervy when your keeper punches everything.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think Leno was a good shot stopper, but I've never really seen him put a good run together. Does that mean?
He's a fine mid-table goalkeeper.
Yeah. No.
I don't think he's good enough to keep enough shots out and to keep enough clean sheets to probably get Fulham in a European spot. I think maybe there's other factors into that, of course, but I do just think Leno has he is the 10th best goalkeeper in the Premier League.
I feel like we're probably being harsh, and I think that we're looking at it from like outside fans looking in, because I reckon there's other podcasts all out there saying exactly the same thing about Dean Henderson, and I think like the sun shines out of his arse when it comes to
Nah, I think Dean Henderson has a lot more credit in the bank than Leno does.
Maybe, but yeah. Cool.
I mean, I'd take either of them at West Ham.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. I mean, that's two.
I mean, just on Everton, I just don't think I've seen enough from this Armstrong kid yet to warrant a starting position. And I know that Grealish injury has kind of opened that up, but I've watched them a couple times in recent weeks and just felt like he's kind of being forced into this starting position. Don't think he's proved enough yet.
I mean, that's a bit harsh, mate. Like, give him some time, surely. I mean, if Moyes is seeing something on the training ground, but would Moyes throw players in like that when he was at West Ham with you? I don't think he would he?
No, not really. Moyes doesn't particularly. He every now and then he'll take a liking to one youngster and play them a lot.
Careful now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean that's just an early thought. It's not a take. It's not a hot take. I'll holster it for now.
That's fair. He's played 385 Premier League minutes this season. I'm seeing.
He started the last few weeks.
It is a bit odd, but yeah, I think you're being harsh. I think you're being harsh for no reason, but yeah, cool. Bit of a slip in the last 4 games for not Everton, for Fulham. 3 losses out of 4. I mean, one of those is a win, but are we seeing Fulham regress to the mean a bit after quite a good Christmas period?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, are we surprised?
No,
is this not just Fulham from last season?
Yeah,
where they were so inconsistent. Last season it was one game to the other. This season it feels a bit more patchy, where they went on that amazing run around Christmas that you said. Earlier in the season they had a horrible run. This at the moment they're not going through the best run. It just feels like the consistency is just lengthening out a bit more, but it's still patchy Fulham.
Yeah, it is that. And they got a couple of hard games coming up with City tomorrow and then Sunderland away. So yeah, that bad run will
Yeah,
continue for.
they've signed Oscar Bob for 27 mil.
I don't rate him. I really don't.
That's harsh. He's barely played.
I know he's barely played, but he's one of those where I looked at, I was like, oh, if we got him at Palace, I wouldn't be happy for that money. Like, I think he's only scored his goals against us as well, or something stupid.
Nah, he scored against Newcastle.
Did he?
Yeah, he scored a winner against Newcastle at one point.
I'm certain his first 3 goals were all against us. Or I'm thinking of
So you should have signed him.
Was it against us, or am I thinking of someone else with the Sideshow Bob hair? Was it? I must be thinking of someone else. But yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. Then move on to the last non-loss for the other 14 sides. Bournemouth 1, Villa 1. I didn't really have too much to pick out of this game apart from really the goals and nearly a very nice scissor kick from Ryan Christie at the end. What about yourself?
I think there were a good few chances. I think Bournemouth had a couple of early ones. I thought Evan Nilsson was playing really well. Krupi was playing really well. He had a shot that was cleared off the line that Concert injured himself in the clearance. I think he was okay in the end, but it was one of those that the attacker was well offside. I think the linesman should have called it immediately. Shouldn't like. I completely get the if there's a doubt, let it play out sort of thing. But this was one of those where he definitely could have called it in advance. Like did not need to really wait to see that whole play out.
But it's one of those where I get annoyed when they flag it too early because it's the rule to not flag it. Do you know what I mean?
But this one, I think that was clear enough that he should have he should have called it. If there's any doubt, then yeah, fine. But I think this one was pretty clear.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just thinking because of the two sides of the coin. I know what I'd get annoyed at, and yeah, maybe I'm just being a bit silly with it. But yeah, I agree with you on it. But yeah, I mean, they do come and well, they don't come. They kind of pay for it at the other end with Morgan Rogers putting an absolute rocket into the back of the net.
Yeah, Rogers absolutely hammers it into the net. I think Sancho was feeling himself in this game a bit. Like Sancho, when he's rolling the ball with his studs and playing quick passes, and he's got people buzzing in and around him, is peak Jadon Sancho, and he was able to do that a couple of times in this game.
Was he reminding you of his Dortmund times?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I was watching week in, week out for Dortmund. The equaliser from Ryan is a really nice run and finish, but I absolutely think it's abhorrent defending from Digne and Mings. Digne especially should have been like publicly shamed for that.
What's he doing? Like, what is he doing? Is he trying to get himself sacked?
It's like that meme of the steward who barely touches people.
It's fucking crazy.
He's just like he's like 10 yards off him and just like lets him run straight past him.
It's just how casual he's like, yep, okay, see ya, bye. Okay,
yeah,
he scored.
Mings doesn't close him down anywhere soon enough. I can let Mings off a little bit because I would expect my left back to have put in some effort.
But it's nothing. It's literally nothing. Yeah, I don't think there's words to describe how bad it is. If I saw
it's so bad.
a player do that, I'd be raging, like absolutely seething.
I mean, I can understand now why Emery has been playing Maatsen more and more in recent months, because if that's the effort that Digne's putting in, he's going to lose his place for the rest of the season.
Yeah, really quickly. Rico Lewis, that's who it was. I was getting mixed up with Watford Bob. God, my bad. I think. Yeah.
Have you just been googling players with the same haircut?
Yeah, it's been really annoying. I had to go back because I was sure it was him, but no, it was Rico Lewis. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and then later on, Ryan Christie has a couple of really nice efforts that were saved by Martinez. I think this one was a deserved score draw.
Yeah,
I think a good enough game. Didn't have much separating the two teams on the day.
No, I think good result for Bournemouth, but I think that's kind of it done now for any title talk for Villa, ain't it? So, I mean, still a really good season. So, nothing.
Yeah, I still think Emery was right all those weeks ago, where it's just like we're not in a title race. We just need to consolidate getting into the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of happens with the top 6 teams, doesn't it? It's all starting to show now with the squads they have, with all the money they've been able to have. It's kind of like those ones are the ones rising to the top as the season goes on because they've got the squad depth and basically 2 starting 11s to be able to play every week.
Yeah, and you just got your couple of entries from the other 14 this year of Villa obviously punching above their weight and Brentford just sort of clawing at their way into one of those European spots.
Yeah, exactly that. And it might get worse with was it the new no even PSR um what is it rules now? Is it SCR rules with money coming in? That's going to make it harder for anyone that's not in the top six to compete. But I guess we can touch on that at the
Save
end.
it for the summer.
Yeah, save for when people want to listen to us in the summer talk absolute nonsense. Cool. Okay, let's whiz through these last two then for the kind of big losses for the other 14 sides. Wolves losing 3-1 to Chelsea. Any issues with any of the penalties?
No, no. The first one's a lazy tackle from Doherty, no complaints. Second one's a stupid shove from Mascara. Maybe you could argue it's outside the box. It's like right on the line.
I'd argue it's outside the box, but how stupid the challenge looks in real time is unreal. It's just
It's
like
kind of like it's such a stupid, unnecessary thing to do. That's like, well, actually, fine, just give a penalty. Make sure that player learns his mistake
yeah,
because he shouldn't be doing anything like that. It was just absolutely unnecessary. The only things I really have to say about this game are there's no chance Mateus Mane stays. I'm sorry, Wolves fans. He's absolutely too good already. I love watching this kid play. Like he hits the post in this one. Whereas like from a standing position, he gets great lift on the ball. He's taking corners as well. He's making everything good that happens for Wolves comes through Mateus Mane. I just don't. I just don't see a world that he stays at Wolves.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy where they've been hiding him. I don't see where he goes though. What do you think? It's a hard one to call.
I mean, it depends. It depends how much he like is, how much they value him at, how much the other like the top six teams look at him. Whether anyone, he'll go, he'll come back to the Premier League for sure. There should be 20 teams looking at taking him, in my opinion. I think from what I've seen from this kid over the last couple of months, there's the ceiling is really, really high for him. And that's why I'm just thinking, I know we've talked about it in recent weeks, like, could he stay and have a really good season in the Championship? But I just think he is showing so much quality at this level in a struggling team that I just have no doubt that he'll be able to come into any other team in the league and make his way. The only other thing I've got to say about this game, really not really about this game, about Wolves, like the exodus from the January window of Strand Larsen going, they sent Arias back to Brazil. Agbadou's gone to Besiktas, I think. Replaced him with Adam Armstrong and Angel Gomez. I think that latter one might be a loan, but it just kind of feels like waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah,
I know it's already way beyond, like probably beyond any doubt, but just kind of feels like that.
yeah. I mean, if you're waving the white flag and getting 48 million, you can't. It's not the worst.
Oh, they've got good money for him. They've got a profit on Arias. I think they got 18 mil for Agbadou, sort of thing. So like, if they if the if they reinvest this, great. They'll be well armed in the Championship to come back up
Yeah,
if they can reinvest that money.
if you're Rob Edwards and you're being given that war chest and they've said, cool, we'll sack this off. We'll give you all the money you need going next season. We know you can get a team up. Let's go for it. Like, I mean, it's probably the best you can hope for as Wolves fans now.
Yeah. You just have to put your trust in their ownership, which I know they don't.
Shit, yeah, that's good. Very good point. But hey, oh, cool. Arsenal beat Sunderland 3-0. So
I mean,
should we,
couple.
should we bother?
What are you gonna say?
Sorry. I was saying,
I
should
mean,
we
there
move on to
there was
predictions?
a couple half chances for Sunderland, but like we all knew how this one would go.
Yeah,
Sunderland's away record's awful. Arsenal at home, they're like it was just such an unsurprising result.
yeah, exactly that. And I mean, if you're a Sunderland fan and you've held on for this long, you probably could have sensed we weren't really going to talk about the game because you probably don't want to hear about the game either.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Sunderland fans have already forgotten about this.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, nothing really to worry about for them. Cool. Should we move on to predictions then for games that will probably all be over by the time people listen to this?
Let's breeze through them because four of them are tonight.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Chelsea Leeds. Leeds doing well, but I think going away to Stamford Bridge midweek, probably going to be a bridge too far, 2-0 to Chelsea.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, cool. Everton, Bournemouth. I could see that being a Desmond, actually.
Ooh, I'm going to go 1-1.
Cool. Spurs, Newcastle. Do you know what? I think Eddie Howe's going to bounce back in this one and probably get a 2-1 win.
Yeah, Newcastle bad away from home, but Tottenham are just bad in general. I really hope Newcastle beat them. I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle.
Nice, cool. And then your game tonight, West Ham United against United. Always do that. Cool. I think you're going to get something. I think it's going to be a 1-1.
I'm going to go Desmond 2-2.
It does feel like that game. There's always a good scoreline in it for you lot. Is
that that wanker won't be able to cut his hair.
Oh yeah, we're just jealous of his hair, really. Cool. And then Wednesday night, Villa Brighton. I can't really see anything more than a big Villa win here. I'm going to go 3-1.
Yeah, Villa at home should be comfortable in this one, I would hope, or I would expect at least. I'm going to go Villa 2-0.
Cool. Palace Burnley, I'll be at that one. I'm going to go 1-0 and Strand Larsen scores his first goal.
Yeah, I didn't see anything from Burnley that I think they'll be able to go to a rejuvenated Selhurst. I'm going to go 2-0 Palace.
Nice. City, Fulham. You got to hope it's going to be as good as the last game. Actually, no, I hope it isn't as good as that game because then we're going to have to talk about it longer.
The 5-4.
5-4, yeah. That absolute insane game. Yeah, sorry, Fulham fans. I just think the bad run of form is going to continue a little bit longer with this one and probably a 3-0 City.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what City did to Liverpool at the end of that match. I think it's going to be tough for Fulham to go away on Wednesday night and get something. I'm going to go 2-0 Man City.
Cool. Forest Wolves, huge one. Absolutely huge one for Forest. I don't know. I do not know with Forest anymore. They've been the complete two ends of the spectrum from the last two performances I've seen them put in. I'm gonna go.
I hope Wolves can win, so I'm gonna back them 1-0.
I think I've got to go 1-1. I just don't have the faith in Forest to do it. Maybe I should because it's at the City ground, and it'll be so important. They won one of the two important games, really important games this season. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go 1-1. Cool. Sunderland, Liverpool. I guess, is this a chance for Sunderland's home form to finally be beaten this season?
Oof, I don't know about that. They've faced tougher challenges at home than Liverpool. I think Sunderland can win this game. I'm gonna back Sunderland to win 2-1.
I'm gonna go join you in that one. I think 2-1 as well. Yeah, cool. And then Brentford host Arsenal on a Thursday. I don't know. I want to say Brentford.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I feel like we've disrespected Brentford in our predictions over the last couple of weeks, and we should show them some love. I'm gonna go Brentford 1-0.
Nice. And then amazingly, also in this game week, because of the the EFL Cup final, we also have Wolves Arsenal again.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wolves Arsenal. I mean, there's only one winner in that, isn't there? That's going to be an Arsenal 3-0.
4-0 Wolves. Let's go. Cool. Okay, cheers for everyone for listening to that one. I think we tried to do a bite-sized one, but it probably ended up being the same length as usual. But yeah, feel free to rate and review the pod, tell your friends. And have your say on socials, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, Reddit at Other14FC Podcast, or email us in at other14fcpodcast@gmail.com. I think we may be back on Friday with that one will have to be a bite-sized review of the games. We may review the big talking points from the games unless it's barnstorm over the weekend. Oh no, actually, do we have FA Cup this weekend, don't we?
It's FA Cup this weekend, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we might be back next Monday then. We'll see what our plan is saying. But yeah, otherwise, have a good week, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.